what legacy do you hope to leave for all female pilots, or especially for Odia women?
My legacy will be, I am just a part of the legacy that has been following since 1930s since Indian women took up to the skies. They touched the skies to dispel the myth that this cockpit is for male
and female,
and the uniform is for the male. Okay, I'm just a part of that legacy, taking it forward, paving the way
breaking
for the next
stereotype.
generation, and making it better for them, so that they don't face what we faced, and this is more, they feel more comfortable being here. And definitely I don't, being a woman, and I can definitely say that I don't see a difference between women and men when they are in the cockpit with me, a women pilot or the male pilot. In fact, the women pilots sometimes they bring in more,
empathy, as you said,
and they're more disciplined in their work, because every time I see that the women are trying to, still prove themselves more.
A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Reengineered podcast. And I'm Madhusmita Nayak, your host. And today, it's a pleasure to welcome one of the very beautiful guests who happens to share my same name and from the same hometown. She is none other than Captain Madhusmita Patnaik, the first Odia female flight commander who has raised her bars by creating impact beyond cockpit. And that we will come to know once we delve into her journey and how she has created this impact during COVID-19 pandemic. Captain Madhusmita, welcome to my podcast, and it's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, Madhusmita, and it is awesome meeting you and being a part of your show, which I've only heard about so much. And today it's really an honor and privilege to be sitting here and talking to you about everything that we women have achieved.
And it's a goosebump moment for me, because it feels like, as you said, Karthik calling Karthik moment. And it's like
absolutely
Madhusmita interviewing Madhusmita, but you are one of the role model for us, especially the Odia females who are staying outside and looking up to you. So more power to you.
Thank you so much, but the feeling is very mutual, Madhusmita. It's really very mutual after hearing what you have achieved as well, and all the other stories that you have already shown in your podcast. I mean, it's just a privilege to be here, to be sharing our stories.
Thank you for that moment. And as a young girl, you dared to dream to fly airplanes when you are a very young girl, right? And now you are commanding the skies as flight commander. How do you feel, and how it all got started?
And to begin with, I guess it was my personality, and what I was born with a certain way of thinking, and I was not the stereotype, let's say.
Okay.
And a stereotype girl or a stereotype,
You were born
young lady. Yes. You can say that.
Okay.
Maybe a rebel, because I was not stereotype. Yeah. And so obviously, adventure was in my blood always, growing up also. When it came to realizing it into a career and thinking about career, then I was looking for something which would keep me going, that adventure element would be there, and something which would be passionate for me to continue, throughout my life. And yes, being in the forces was one of my dreams, but it wasn't possible at that time.
Yes, very much.
Yes. So then I found aviation by luck, I would say, because I just happened to see a small aircraft flying, and I wondered what it is, what's happening. And because you usually see the big jets
Correct.
at the airport when we go to receive a guest and drop off somebody, and not that I was in any jet before, okay. And then I saw this small aircraft and I followed it to the airport, and I learned that there was a flying school, and that got me thinking
And
that
how old were you that time when you
I
first?
was 17.
Okay.
17.
Great. Yeah.
When
So it was there in your blood.
yeah, and the minute I saw the aircraft and the minute I saw it flying, I just imagined myself, being there and doing that, not thinking of it as a profession at that point. I just wanted to be there.
Oh, that excited
in the,
you,
in
and
the
then
air.
you found the calling there.
It was like a sense of freedom that I could feel looking
seeing the
at
aircraft?
just by seeing the aircraft, yeah. And there was like shining in my eyes.
And you got your purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. Saying that, and who inspired you the most? Because it is very important at that age and that point of time, and coming from such a conservative ecosystem, if I might say, because we both are from the same place. Who inspired you the most?
Inspiration, I wouldn't say that to be a pilot who inspired me the most then. It was to do something what you wanted to do in life. It was like if you had a dream and you wanted to do something, it was my mom. Okay. She has always been the greatest inspiration of my life. So nothing was impossible for her. In her perspective, nothing was impossible. You wanted to do something, then you should be able to go. You should be able to do it. That was my mom, and so it was because of her that I could feel that if I dream or if I want to do something, I can do it. Okay, that you can say she was a living inspiration for me, for everything in life. But also when I met Shri Biju Patnaik, our erstwhile chief minister, the first aviator from
one of the biggest
statesmen and influencer of our times. I think that was the changing moment in my life.
He influenced you. I was about to ask. Your surname is also Patnaik, and
we are not related, but we are related in the passion.
Yeah, it's what a true calling, right? Like,
yes.
I must say. And 25 years back, coming from Odisha, where the only prioritized fields that we know is medical or engineering, and that point of time you chose aviation. Who pursued that, and how you pursued that dream and passion throughout?
So it wasn't perceived so well in the beginning. Like as you already mentioned, it was not the stereotype profession at that time. They did not look upon it as a profession, and it was like, I would like to mention here that those days, flight schools were not flight schools. They were flying clubs.
Okay.
They were for the elite, where they would come for hobby. Yeah. So it was one of those hobbies for the elite, okay? And very few or rare ones of them would go on to become a commercial pilot. So it was not like a career choice at that time.
So it is a passion, hobby come.
It was passion come hobby you can say, where people used to come to to learn, kind of like a pursue a hobby. Yeah, so there were no regular flying schools or like established ones at that time, where it was done as a mode of education or a curriculum, or a career curriculum. So of course, because of this, the parents didn't have this kind of perception that this could be translated into a career, and coming from Odisha as well, we didn't have that kind of exposure.
Neither infrastructure
neither infrastructure at that time. So my parents were right in disagreeing with me that this can become a career. But like I said, my mom, she was not regular also like me in her thinking. She was very foresighted. So she thought that we should give it a chance and see how it turns out. And while you continue your education to start flying and see how it feels, and you still have that passion going, and you find out more about it, and as time grows and as you mature a little bit more and you understand more about this, if you still want to do it, she's never stopped me from doing
She's
it.
so strategic.
Yeah, she said, think about it, see how it goes, and if you are able to manage this on your own, because we definitely won't be able to help you other than giving you the platform and the support that we are there behind you. Other than that, you have to figure things out on your own, going out of Odisha and
Pursuing
finding your way, and as I was determined enough, the more I took onto the skies, the more I flew, I just realized that this is where I want to be.
And
This
you
is
felt
it.
belong
Till
there.
today, Madhusmita, the first thing I think of when I take off is, wow. The feeling is, wow, every single flight, every single takeoff. I get paid to do this.
Oh, wow.
I feel, not only for me as a pilot, for anybody, if you can feel like this every day when you go to work,
When you are
that
going
is,
work.
that is it in life,
So what is that one emotion that comes where you're in the sky? As you said, when you fly and you take off, and when you are in the sky.
I'll tell you what flying brings me.
Yeah.
I'm sure to all the people, most of the people who are flying because of their passion, it brings a sense of strength, freedom, and independence.
And you believe that you are untouchable.
Yeah.
Like away from everyone.
And most of all, the satisfaction of being able to do what you want to do, and what you've always wanted to do.
So incredible, and you take the responsibility of all the people, passengers who are coming,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
sense of responsibility too.
Of course, all this feeling of joy, exhilaration, and all that is there, but above all this is the sense of responsibility, and especially when you are the commander of the flight, it just comes along with the job. It comes along with the task that you are given, the responsibility of the safety of everyone on board, be it my co-pilot, be it my crew, and all the passengers, of course, foremost. That's the first thing on my mind.
Incredible. And we often hear that this is a stereotype statement, I must say, like women are bad drivers, at least on roads, they say that. Do you hear the same stereotype in Sky too?
Okay, not about bad drivers, but as you know, that aviation has always been a male-oriented occupation, industry, and so it is just taken that it's not the place for women, and you have to really make a place for yourself there, and it is somewhere it is even judged like physical abilities
Also judged,
are also judged, that you as a female, you physically not probably suitable to be in
strong
enough or suitable to be in this profession. But this has been a mindset for a very long time, which me or my predecessors from before tried to change this perception, and I wouldn't say it was easy, and it's always been tough, because as women, like I said, you are being judged in this occupation a lot. You have to really prove your matter.
Yeah,
there.
True, very
and
true.
More than my male counterparts. This is what I have experienced a lot. You are not given that position very easily, and technically and
physically, as you said.
Yeah, you're being judged.
Saying that, but what is the unique perspective that you bring to the cockpit, being a female pilot?
Okay, well, let's start with what requirements do you see for pilots? I mean, what does a pilot bring to the cockpit? A pilot, you have to be disciplined. You have to be really organized, focused. Quick thinking, decision making. team
Handling
player, communication,
pressure, yeah.
and being able to maintain your calm under pressure, multitasking sometimes. So as a woman, you bring a lot of this already
We are
on
born
the
with
table. We
this.
are born with a lot of these skills, and on top of it, when you have to prove your matter, the drive to succeed because you're being constantly judged is also, adds to it that you need to do your job really well,
Yeah,
every
true,
day.
true. And you have to
Yes.
constantly prove and
Constantly
keep
prove
the
yourself.
performance
Right.
upright.
As
Yeah.
a pilot, you are re-engineering yourself, like you said, always, because of the new technology
Techniques,
is
yes.
coming in and everything. So you have to keep coping with the changes. And and as a female, if you say, what I bring in a lot of these qualities also with your
On board.
life and life balancing your life and work at home and everything. You already are more organized. You have to be more disciplined.
Yes, correct. And to manage both.
To manage both. So
Yeah.
our life has to be much more organized in that way. So, and we bring it to the cockpit as well.
True, so true. Saying that, any initial challenge when you started your career that you clearly remember till date?
Challenge for me, for me or most of the women, I will say, is the mindset.
Okay.
So you are there because you want to do it, your love for it, your passion for it, you're confident also. But
Actually, when you're placed in that position, then
the mindset of the people was I think the biggest challenge
Okay.
that I faced in those times, or let's say been facing for a very most part of my
So
life.
mindset of others on us.
Others on
Okay.
us. But you have, I mean, that you might face that in any other profession as well.
True.
And but I'm men. Sometimes men also face it. I'm not just saying that women face certain things in certain spots, but one has to take it as a challenge. Like I took it as a challenge.
Yeah.
Like you can, I mean, that I cannot do it or I'm not supposed to be there. Who is supposed to tell me that?
And determined and very consistent.
I am here because of my own thing, my own desire to be there, and that's what I want to do. So I have to make a place for myself, or this is what I'm doing for myself, right?
Yeah, true.
So and there is nobody has the right to tell me what I can do or what I cannot do in life, or where I have to be.
And this was your passion since childhood. So
Yes.
So many
I'm
congratulations.
living my dream.
Yeah,
you
you're
can
living
say.
your dream, as you said. Like, you
Yes.
dreamt it when you were 17 and now you are commander and you are
I'm
leading
living my
team.
dream every day.
Yes, yeah. Now coming to one of the very emotional story that I have read about you during COVID pandemic, where you have taken off the flight with 215 distressed ODIs and one infant back in India, back to our hometown, carrying them. It's such a wonderful video clip that I saw when all the passengers said Jai Jagannath in all. What are the emotions that were running through your mind?
See, flying is my career. It's my profession that I do every day. But something like this doesn't come by in everybody's life, and I mean, it's just
It's
a
one
blessing.
of its moment.
It's one of those moments. It's a blessing that that happened, and it was those times were very difficult times, and with all the communication everywhere being stopped, and what people were going through, it was very difficult times, and we were involved in the process and of trying to help people and see how when this whole idea came about of
Sending them
arranging some sort of a flight, and I was involved in that, and finally without even thinking that I probably will be actually flying this, doing this flight myself.
So you never knew that whether you'll be...
Yeah, I never knew that I am going to be, I was behind the scene working on it, but I had no idea that I will be flying that flight. And a day before the actual flight, when I got a call to accept this flight, I think I could, it was a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And
true.
along with it, immediately a big sense of responsibility. This was not any other normal flight for me.
Correct.
Like I take any day. It was like a task that God has
Given
given me,
you.
and an opportunity that I have been given to serve my people and to be able to come of any need,
And helping.
helping at that moment. It was and from that moment on till the flight was done, it was like an aura was there around me. And like I said, it was a completely different experience. The sense of joy, which I couldn't, I mean, even bring out, because the sense of responsibility was so
There
much more.
also, yes, yes.
I had to make sure everything, and most of all, because not that it was a different flight, but it with the kind of situation that was there in that moment, and the way that people
Are
were
longing to meet their loved ones.
they are the state of their mind
Mind.
and everything. So I just had to make sure that everything goes well and smooth, and people are people, the minute they board the flight, they have that sense of they're relaxed, and the feeling that they are
Itself.
going home. And
Wonderful,
yeah.
wonderful. By listening this, I have so much of sense of pride for you.
Thank you so
By
much.
listening this, and as you correctly said, it's a sense of joy and responsibility at the same time.
Absolutely.
And
When you get that opportunity to do something for your people, for your country, for your state, for your own people, for your community, I think it is beyond everything else. It's a highlight of your life.
and it's never look back moment. If
Yes.
given opportunity,
I had to give in everything I had for that day, for that moment. Most of all, it was a more sentimental and emotional thing, And along with that, I had to make sure that I do everything right, and I don't let this anxiety and this emotion cloud my mind.
Correct, correct.
I had to still be focused in all this to be able to perform the task to the T.
I think you have created a legacy, and saying that, what legacy do you hope to leave for all female pilots, or especially for Uriya women?
My legacy will be, I am just a part of the legacy that has been following since 1930s, since Indian women took up to the skies. They touched the skies to dispel the myth that this cockpit is for male
And female.
and the uniform is for the male. Okay, I'm just a part of that legacy, taking it forward, paving the way for
Breaking
the
the
next
stereotype.
generation, and making it better for them.
Correct.
So that they don't face what we faced. And this is more, they feel more comfortable being here. And definitely I don't, being a woman, and I can definitely say that I don't see a difference between women and men when they are in the cockpit with me, a women pilot or the male pilot. In fact,
True, very true.
the women pilots, sometimes they bring in more,
Empathy, as you said, yeah.
and they're more disciplined in their work, because every time I see that the women are trying to, still prove themselves more.
More, yeah. Even though they have more skills and
Yes.
competencies. Yeah.
At times, yes.
So beautiful to say that. And before we sign off, my last question to you: any re-engineered message that you want to give to our audience?
Keep reinventing yourself and believe in yourself, and work towards your dream. There is nothing called impossible in life, and you have to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, and be persistent towards it. That is my story, and I survived in this career and made what I am today because of the persistence and the resilience with which I took up my job and my dreams. So I wish the same for everyone who wants to make their own place in life and bring their dreams come true.
Thank you, Captain Madhusmita Patnaik. It's a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you so much, Madhusmita.
And I hope it resonated all our listeners, especially women who want to pursue their career in aviation industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining today's episode. And I think Captain Madhusmita Patnaik's story will be a story for resilience and passion and commitment. And tune in every Friday 6 p.m. UA time to listen to a re-engineered story. Till that time, keep re-engineering yourself and keep loving your life. Thank you.